right?
Hi, everybody. Recruiting Animal here on Wednesday, March 16th, 2022. I got the year right today. Wow. I have to watch, though. I get a little excited when I start the show. And then when I listen to the recording, it makes me sick.
You're cringeworthy animal. Cringeworthy.
Yeah, but I'll introduce everybody. Ernie, raise your hand because I don't know where you're going to be, okay? Food industry recruiter, foodindustryrecruiter.com. Mario the recruiter.com. Raise your hand. Is there anything you want to say about yourself, Mario? Like,
nothing.
We know food industry recruiter is a food industry recruiter, but
you can call me the IT recruiter. That's simple.
Okay, IT recruiter. And the medical communications recruiter.
You did it. You did
Donna,
it.
what's your last name? Terrell?
Yeah.
Terrell.
You did it. Good job.
Yeah. Well, to tell you the truth, I thought about that after last week's show. And by making a mistake, I actually drew more attention to what you do. Okay, so now I'll know. And I'm wearing my Hire Easy t-shirt that they sent me. Okay, now it's my show shirt, actually. Okay, so I was telling everybody that I went through Ivan Gulenko's Facebook page because he's got a lot of extreme business ideas there, and I made a lot of questions about it, but he didn't show up so far. So I'll just go on to my other stuff. Or maybe that's him now. Nope.
No, that's not Tim. Hi, everyone.
Hello. Hi, that's Sasha. Hey, Tasanovic. Is that Tasanovic?
Yeah,
is that how you say your
and you're
name?
pronouncing it very good.
Tasanovic. Okay.
My father came from Central Europe, not Serbia, though. Okay.
Oh, awesome.
Okay. Oh yeah, here's a question. If a candidate is in an interview and excuses himself or herself to go to the washroom, is that bad?
In the middle of an interview?
Yeah, sorry, interviewer. I gotta go to the can. Can you excuse me?
Is it a video interview or is it like in person?
Either way, doesn't matter.
Hopefully, he doesn't take the phone into the washroom.
No, okay, no. They excuse themselves to go to the washroom. I didn't say he goes and. Is it bad? Would you say this person didn't think ahead? He's not a strategic thinker. Would you say that?
Ideal. Not ideal.
Really? That's a negative? Anybody? So Donna doesn't like it. She says that's a problem. Anybody else think?
I kind of agree with Donna. I wouldn't say it's a red flag, but I mean.
But it's a red flag. Okay, it's a pink flag.
Well, yeah, pink.
And I do a lot, with client services. So if people who are trying to get client services roles, you want them to behave in front of you and in an interview the way they're going to behave with their clients. And hopefully they're not like, hey, I got to go pee,
So I should think about my bladder before I enter into a conversation.
I think so.
You do.
Definitely.
I mean, both of you guys do realize that, if the room is cold, you're going to feel like taking a leak when you're under pressure, right?
What if the person's gone for 5 minutes, but then comes back? Because you know what? I see lots of people saying, well, if the candidate's late for a meeting on Zoom, how long should I wait for him? And they say 5 minutes. So why not? He goes to the washroom. Same principle. Give him 5 minutes. Okay, I'm going to move on to better questions. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Here's a recruiter that says sending memes in emails. You know what a meme is? It's a funny image with a joke kind of on it. I can't think of any offhand. But he sends memes in his recruiting emails because he said that helps build rapport.
Does anyone know of Smog the Cat?
No, I never heard of that.
The cat meme. Okay, you must check that out. That's an awesome meme.
Would you send that to
What is it called?
Why not?
What is it called?
Smog the Cat. Smog the cat.
Spell it. You got an accent. We can't understand.
SMOUGH.
Smog the cat. Okay, you said it right, but it's such an odd term. Okay, we'll look it up. But if you send that with your first email outreach to a candidate, 2 questions. Are they going to think you're weird or are they going to like it? And actually, there's another question. Is it going to go to the spam file because it's got some picture in it? Anybody got a note on that?
Well, I wouldn't do that.
Why not?
I wouldn't, because in certain essence, you're trying to build a professional rapport and with making sure that first
Smudge.
contact is like the most important one. I wouldn't be sending a meme for some serious position.
Okay. But
My
here's-
mistake. It's
Go ahead.
Smudge the cat, not Smog the cat. Smog is another character.
Okay.
Okay, Smudge the
Oh,
cat.
I know
the
this.
Yeah, he's
meme.
awesome,
This
right?
is awesome. Yeah, it is.
I
It
love him.
is.
Okay,
I
but
want to
hold
pet
on
like
a second. I was reading about the Sandler technique today. It's a sales technique. And the guy says the first thing you have to do is do a little research on the person you're calling and find out something in common with them. So you're not trying to be too professional when you break the ice, okay? Breaking the ice is not professional. It's personal. Anybody with me on that against Sasha? Anybody?
Oh, I think as an agency recruiter, it's a little different, maybe. I don't know. Maybe if I were representing one company, I might want to be more buttoned up and professional. But, you know, being an agency recruiter, I'm being professional, but I'm also trying to make a lot of friends. Do you know what I mean? Like, because that's
No, it's the context. So what does it come down to on the memes? Yeah,
I think for me, it would be okay because anything that gets my name remembered, even if they don't like it at first, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, but they remember who I am. It's kind of like no press, you know, is bad press kind of thing.
yeah,
No,
but I think that's not true. No press is bad press. By the way, Donna,
but,
is
yeah.
Michael G. Cox a giant? Because I saw a picture of you and
Yeah, he's
him
pretty tall.
and
He
Stefan.
was taller than I thought he would be.
Or
Yeah.
or is
I don't wanna
Stefan
say.
David Patterson short? I mean, like, is he
Yes.
5'6"?
Yes.
He
Okay,
was-
because
he
he's
was-
very muscular.
Yeah, yes, and he has nice tattoos. But yeah, they were different statures. Yes,
So you're about 5'2". Am I right about that?
I'm 5'5".
Okay,
3 inches more.
let me
Animal, you
move
were off the
on.
mark by 3 inches.
Yeah, I'm far off. Okay, but then Michael G. Cox is tall. He's over 6
Yeah.
feet tall for sure.
No, maybe he had
Okay.
on lifts. I don't know, but he seemed, yeah, he was taller than us. So
Okay, you know, the guest we had scheduled last week who didn't show, she actually says on LinkedIn, she says, I like to believe I have a sense of humor, which enables me to develop extra original ways to find the best talent. I mean, so there's someone else who thinks that humor helps you reel the people in against
So-
Sasha, okay?
So where's the guest?
There's no guest today. Nobody
She was
wants
a
to.
guest last week.
Yeah, so she didn't show and she didn't.
I
contact.
guess she lost her sense of humor.
I guess. Well, maybe. Yeah, maybe this show's just too funny for her. Okay. Okay. What about this? Do you have to like the product that the company is selling or the service in order to represent them properly? Anybody?
Of course.
Yes.
You need to
It-
believe in what
for
you're
me-
selling for sure.
For me, it's
Start with
essential.
Sasha.
For me, it's essential because I couldn't.
Can you raise your
sell
head in the picture? I don't want to see the screen behind you.
like this? How do you mean I raise?
Yeah,
Yeah,
put
like
your
that.
face
I
in
can
the
move
center of the square,
Or-
okay?
Bring your face
No.
closer to the camera.
Yeah, well, just adjust the camera.
Or
I
I
don't want
can sit like this. I'm pretty tall as well. I'm
How tall are you,
5.8 or in
Oh, nice. That's a
centimeters.
I
nice
wouldn't
height.
have known it the way you were sitting before. Okay, you were
Yeah.
misrepresenting yourself.
I mean, it's pretty normal in Europe, right? To be
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. It
Is
is.
it?
It's well, I'm considered tall.
Yeah, I'm not
Uh,
interested. I spent enough time talking about how
Yeah,
tall we
I-
are. Okay, let me move on. So
Yeah.
you said what you said.
Sorry
The company.
if you feel short. I'm sorry if you feel if you feel short.
I'm
Animal,
over
I bet
6
you're over
feet. You know
hey, high
what?
five. Same here.
And it doesn't mean anything
I'm
how tall
6'3"
you
and I
are.
stand-
I want to
tall
say,
with
I want to say something. With Donna and Sasha,
yeah.
you guys are totally different now than when you first started. You
No,
now you're like coming
No way.
back
They're
at him
the
and everything else.
same. They're
And
the
before you
same. They were
considered
both.
everyone like a
eyes.
celebrity.
They're both
and all
good
that.
speakers
And
and
now you're just
forward.
coming back.
They're,
That's
they're
cool.
neither of them is a shrinking violet.
you.
from
No, I
the
actually
world.
agree with Ernie on that. Okay, they have got more comfortable on the show, and
I
that's
don't
a good
agree.
thing.
I don't
And
agree.
that's-
I,
Who
they
cares
were
if you don't
comfortable.
agree?
People that do it
I'm
come on
taking a
show.
I'm taking a card out of Michael G. Cox's playbook. Who cares if you don't agree?
Yeah, okay, he's not here, so someone else has to put me down. Okay,
No one's putting
look,
you down, man. Come on.
let's
Well,
get to her.
Awesome.
my first show with you, I felt like it was a resurrection. Quite honestly, I was in the middle, and it was.
Resurrection, I think she made it's an English as a second language error, okay? Because that means you
Okay.
raised from the dead, okay?
No, not
Let me get back to the
well,
question. Well, you
yeah.
know what? I know nobody's
That
watching,
happens.
but well, let's imagine that there's some recruiter watching and wants to learn something, okay? And you said that you have to
Hey, enter
respect-
Rich Rosen.
you have to respect what the company is doing in order to sell them well. That's what you said a minute
not
ago. Am I right?
Not respect, but I have to believe in service or the product, and I have to trust that what they're delivering that is the way. What would be the? I have the word, but it's equal with my belief system.
And I say no because respect, yes, but the way of work of all the companies I work with, they're not all the same. And that's something I try to remind my team about sometimes is, you know, a lot of people on my team like the places that have a good work-life balance, and they don't like the ones where people are putting in all sorts of hours. But some people like to work all hours. Like I work a lot and I like it. I like to work in my hours. I like to work after hours. So you can't assume that everyone you talk to is just like you. So to me, it's making a good match. So I might not want to work for company A, but if I'm talking to somebody and it's aligned with what they want and it's what they believe in, then I'll put them over there. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, but
Yo,
can you recruit? Yeah, well, Rich is gonna.
Hey.
Now I believe I'm gonna call what Rich says, but he'll always disagree with me. So everybody we'll see what happens. But here's Rich. Do you have to believe in the company that you love what they're doing in order to represent them properly, or can you talk about companies that they're not that great, I think, and you recruit for them? Am I right?
You gotta believe in the people. Like honestly, if I don't like the people, then I have a hard time selling it. So if I'm working for some, I don't work for a lot of jerks, but if I find the guy is just a schmuck, I just have a real hard time doing it. And I've literally placed a guy at a company by telling him, listen, you'll make it. You could potentially make $1 million a year, but you'll hate yourself every day of it. The guy
chose the $1 million.
That's the whole spiel. The guy wanted the job. He ended up getting it. He lasted 6 months and left. So,
Okay.
So did he freeze? Or are you just standing there?
Okay, but what about the product or service? Does that make a difference to you?
No, it's more about the people. There's got to be a pitch, though. If there's nothing exciting about it, why work on it? If you're just, selling anything, you don't want to get a reputation as the recruiter who just will put people into any crappy company. And, why sell why push something that you don't really believe in or you just don't even understand? Or there's nothing exciting about it.
Well, give me an example of something you believe in that's great.
Well, if it's a really cool technology that's actually saving company money, there's legitimate differentiation in the product.
So you actually make sure that the companies you're working with are doing exciting things before you take their jobs to the market. Is that what you're saying? I can't believe it.
Yeah, I'm pretty picky on who I take on as a client. I've got
you made 60 placements last year, okay? You can't be that picky.
I'm very picky. I also fire a lot of clients. I tell you that all the time.
Yeah.
There's a company I fired. I made 4 deals with them and then I fired them because honestly, I felt like it was costing me more than it was making me.
Well, hold on a second. You just told us that you won't work for jerks. Here you made 4 placements with them before you figured that out, okay?
They had a leadership change. That was the problem.
Ernie wants to talk.
No, wait, this company, they had a leadership change and the VP of HR gets on the phone and she's like, well, what are you going to tell the candidates about this change, about this? And I'm like, I'm going to tell them the truth. She's like, what do you mean? How can you tell them the truth? I'm like, well, what moron wants to come work? Why would you hire a moron who couldn't understand the entire executive team left? Don't you think they're going to figure it out? All right. But that's how some of these companies think. Like, oh my God, these people are so dumb and they need us so badly. And it was a company that was it was a decent product, but the culture just fell to garbage. So you moved on.
Okay, that's what, okay, Donna was saying that she doesn't try to impose her values on anybody, but if the company's lousy, does that make a difference to you, Donna?
Yeah, well, yeah, and I think what Rich-
Although your boss brings the companies in, so you don't make
Well, I
that
don't have to
decision.
work on it though. I don't have to push a company if I wouldn't have to do that. There's plenty to recruit for. But I agree with what he said about the people. If a person is a jerk, I don't want to send people into jerky people, but you were talking about the company as a whole, what they do, how they operate. That to me, those are two different things. So
Rich said something a little different. He'll tell the candidate, this company's lousy. If you want to go there, it's your business, right?
I'm very straightforward with
But his
them.
guy didn't last. I don't know if he had to pay a guarantee or honor a guarantee on.
My replacement is 30 days.
Yeah, 6 months. you should-
Really?
Yeah.
He charges a fortune, everybody, and he only gives a 30-day guarantee.
As
Wow.
he said, he
He did.
says in the podcast, you pay me for the 20 years of work, not for what I've done yesterday.
Well,
Uh-huh.
but then he works with startups, so they may not be around in 30 days.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're not paid for retention, we're paid for attraction. So
Like a minister.
exactly. So you like my spiel about the priest though already. I saw your thing.
No, I didn't hear it. What is it? What to fill me in?
No, I always say, listen, you don't blame the priest for get divorced. So why are you blaming a recruiter if you lose your
Oh,
you know?
but isn't the priest supposed to counsel the couple before? He's never been married himself, but
Yeah, exactly.
he's-
That's great. Hmm.
well, you can
The
take some
irony
other kind of clergyman.
is
Okay.
rich.
Going back to your question about what do you tell them? You tell them if the company is a messed up company. You do tell them that, but there are other reasons why they might want to go to that area. Like somebody from California might want to go to Arizona because mom and dad are getting old and they live there and I got to be nearby. So but you're upfront with the company to basically
But
what you don't want them to say is,
Ernie, that means you will represent a company that you don't respect. Is that what you're
well,
saying?
no, but you tell them, but what you do is if that's what they need, the candidate needs that, and because they got to get there, you just give them the whole spiel. And because what you really don't want is you don't want them to say, what the hell did you get me into?
Yeah. You're building relationships for the long term, not just for the immediate need.
Rich is a good talker. He can say contrary things and everybody swallows it. He said a minute ago, I walk away. In fact, he tells us every week he walks away from people he doesn't like. Now he's saying, tell the candidate that these guys are jerks before he goes there.
But
If
you know
you
what?
walked away
But-
from the jerks, you wouldn't be able to tell the candidate
but you
that,
have-
right?
But you have to have
There's a
experiences
difference.
to
Hang
know
on,
that
hang
they're
on,
a
hang on.
jerk.
Wait, hang on. There's a difference. There's contingent searches. There's retained searches. Contingent searches. Hey, listen, you picked up a search, and then hey, you learn afterwards that this guy's these guys are dopes. So you know what? You got it in your back pocket. And if you're talking to a candidate about 4 openings, well, listen, you may like this one because in the market, it's like Snowflake, like a company like Snowflake in the software world, huge IPO last year. It was perceived as like a great company to go to. It was a shit show. 30% of the team made their number. All right. So is it a great opportunity? Not for me. I thought the guy when the VP was a complete jackass at the time, at one point.
So Rich, do you tell them, hey, I'm going to have to do this and retain because you're a jerk?
No, I won't take it. I won't take it as a retainer if the guy's a jerk. But, you get certain searches that, they get past your sniff test and then you realize they're not worth it. But, there's companies you just say, hey, listen, adios, see you later. And there's companies you throw on the back burner. Who cares? You could trip over people. Great. You throw them your way, but you're always honest. Why lie? That's how you build long-term relationships. If you start putting people in the...
Will you tell the company, I don't really think this is a great opportunity, but if something comes up, I'll send someone your way.
Sometimes.
Because if you say that even if you've got a contingent search, if you say, look, I'll take this search on, then they expect you to come back with something. If you don't come back, it looks bad for you. If you put something in you,
Yeah,
I don't know what you're saying.
well,
Mario, you
sometimes-
haven't had a chance. You want to say something? You waiting
Nothing.
to say?
No, nothing. I'll keep quiet.
You don't care if they're a good company or a bad company. Just give me the orders, right?
Let's
Is
go
that
on
No,
to the
I
next
do. I do
question.
care. Actually, I have taken Rich's advice. Okay. And I tell the candidate upfront what goes on there. If it's a small company, it's a small company. We mostly deal with small companies. So
Small doesn't mean the same as bad. Sasha, final words for you.
No, you
Anything
do
else
have
you
a-
want to say?
No,
Okay.
eventually I would agree that I wouldn't send people to jerk managers.
Okay, well,
Or
warn
I
them that
wouldn't
they're
work.
jerk. Well, there's two different things. Don't
Sasha,
send
you're an
people
internal.
and warn them.
Get into
There's two
external,
Well,
different.
I
then you
couldn't
can
do
talk.
I couldn't do work with people who are which I consider jerks.
Okay. Just like Rich doesn't. Rich can't work with jerks unless he does.
There's not, you make everything so black and white.
Ernie's
Yeah,
pushing me. Ernie's pushing me. I like this question. You don't like it, Ernie?
I'm ready for the next one because it's
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
Animal, I want to add one thing. Okay, I've
Yeah.
developed a rule. There are no rules. That's the rule. Okay,
Okay. Yeah. Well,
quote me
yeah.
on that.
This woman
But I
said.
like what Rich said. He said you don't blame priest for getting divorced, but you're blaming recruiter.
Yeah,
That's
you're
a
just, the
good
priest
one.
just brings
I-
it together,
Heck,
right?
Yeah,
no,
that's a good one.
I totally blame the priest. Okay, he
Yeah.
put the thought in my wife's head. All right. Okay.
Everybody,
Just
every
do us part.
recruiter likes what Rich said because it means that they have no responsibility if things go south on the. Okay, but here's
Wait. You say that, but then tell us what our responsibility is.
Yeah,
Once
that's
you
true.
place the person, how do you have any control over anything?
You know what? I've argued with this before with you. You should be able to qualify the candidate to help them, put someone in there who's going to stay. Okay. And
Animal, don't you
Not
think?
magic?
Yeah,
I mean,
Animal,
because-
don't you think everyone puts their best foot forward in an interview?
hey, let's take that question here. Okay. There's a question for you. Here's a guy. Let me just see where it was. I saw him. I can't find the question, but I remember it because a guy was on LinkedIn and he said, I think he said he was in bed with his fiance or something like that. And she was
We're on
hugging
show,
him.
Animal. We're on show.
This is work. And she said
We got ladies on the show.
she can't believe that she's getting married to a sales rep because all salespeople are liars.
Then she's the dumbest person on the planet.
Why?
Absolutely.
You should
Why?
divorce her and marry someone better.
But you just said, Mario, yourself, that you walked into a trap here. You just said that all salespeople are everybody is putting their best foot
Everybody
forward.
does.
That
See,
is
listen.
lying,
Animal,
okay?
no. Animal, listen. Putting your best foot forward is presenting your best self. That is technically not lying. Okay. Me saying I'm a woman when I'm a man, that is lying. Okay. There's a big difference. All right.
Hold
You
on,
need to get the
we're not
difference in
going there, okay?
There's a clip. There's a clip to cut right there.
Yeah.
But
No, seriously. See, without sales, nothing will go around in this world.
Yeah,
Exactly,
but if
nothing gets
if
done.
you're putting your best foot forward, you're hiding something, okay?
no, what do you do?
No, you're
what do you-
not. You're
What do you do on a
presenting-
first date? If you,
Yeah,
when you go
hey.
on a date, you're right, putting your best foot forward.
You let it all hang out.
Definitely.
go. Depends where you are in the world if you do that,
Just imagine. Excuse me, Sasha. Imagine Animal on his first date. He brings out all his fantasies. What will happen? It's the end of it. There ain't not second or third date. Forget the
I'm not
date.
gonna participate in this when you
Yeah.
finish.
Oh, her husband's gonna get mad at us. Yeah, wow. Enough is
Yeah.
enough. Okay, okay, Ernie, any comment on, I think sales is lying, okay? Any comment?
Nah. Sales
I'm
ain't
listening
lying.
to it,
I ain't
but-
gonna agree with you on that. Hey, we do sales all the time. So we are liars? I mean,
Yeah, probably
No.
to some extent.
Jesus.
Not at all.
no way.
No,
I mean, we
You know
may
what?
Exaggerate the truth a bit, but we don't lie.
Oh,
I mean,
well,
listen,
that's the
but wait,
thing.
wait.
In your thing, like you're like Bill Clinton. I mean,
Thank you.
he
I
never
need
had
to find a
sex with
Monica.
he never had
I-
sex with that woman. Everybody else would say so. You're saying, well, I only exaggerate. I'm not lying. Okay.
Hey, I stand by it. I screwed her. That's fine with me. Okay.
Ernie wants to say something.
no. I just got some good news. I have a friend that was he's a client, but he's a
A
friend
good
now.
story.
But but this is a lesson learned. You maintain that good relationship, and he was a general manager. Now the guy's the VP of ops for 2 facilities.
Hmm.
So now you have
Double
access
the business.
to everything that's going on,
Yeah.
which is nice, and it's good
But-
for business.
Congratulations, Ernie.
But Animal, to your deal though, good salespeople don't lie. Good salespeople try to educate and teach their clients things. That's what separates the A's from the B's. Bad salespeople lie. Bad salespeople, like the used car salesman, say, "Oh, there's no brand new tires, brand new engine, and it's got 9 billion miles on it."
Hey,
What
Nope.
about the idea of warts and all, 360 view, warts and all, as opposed to putting your best foot forward? Okay, which is it?
But that's,
Works-
I mean, if you're a good salesperson, listen, doesn't mean you shine a light on the problems. But at the same time, like, I know when I put people into companies, I tell them the truth. I mean, there's no surprises.
Nothing
Which is
wrong with
why-
me. The guy just said I don't shine a light on the problems, but I tell them
doesn't
the
mean you
truth.
ignore them.
Okay, what? Am I crazy?
Oh my God. So
Yeah,
wait,
you're
Animal, when you go on a date, do you say, listen, I've got syphilis, but let's get some nachos? I mean, what do you do?
awesome.
I mean,
In this
That's
country, it's against the law if you don't
Yeah,
tell
true.
someone
Yeah,
you've got
gotcha.
you don't tell someone that you've got AIDS. Okay, if you got HIV
Really?
and you don't
Hey,
tell,
that should be the law anywhere in the world. I
Yeah.
agree with that law.
but
Okay.
there's a big difference between
Oh.
explaining, just saying, hey, let me tell you how horrible this place is. You're gonna love it, you know. And there's others saying, hey, listen, this is what they're going through. This is what they accomplished, and then you focus on the positives. But you're not selling people on the negative. You're selling them on the positive stuff. That's part of sales. But there's a big difference
I can't
between.
get over your example. I'm sorry.
Donna,
you missed half the examples.
you missed the best examples, I swear.
We're seeing a different side of Rich here.
Oh,
I like what Rich said 10 minutes ago. He says, listen, this company's
Not the last
shit,
one.
but if you want to make $1 million, I'll put you in there. Okay,
Hey,
that's honest.
it
That's
worked.
honest.
It
It
worked.
didn't work though. Well, you made money.
worked for him.
Hey, this guy got $150,000 salary for 6 months. He made his 75 grand.
Okay,
So-
but then he had to look for a job. You didn't place him a second time though. After that, did you place him?
No, I actually almost did place him again recently, but you know, listen, the client. I mean, everyone knew. I mean, that was the company's reputation. It was a tough place to work.
I have
So
a
he
quotation.
works with jerks.
Okay, but I like the way he approached it. I really like that one. Here's something though. Someone said, I didn't say it yet. She said, I would not personally work for an organization if I will not do business with them. So we handpick our clients and have 0 replacements and no counteroffers and no ghosting.
No, she's lying.
She's full of crap and she's
And no
lying through
revenue.
yeah, exactly. Beautiful, Rich.
There's one
There's
client.
no way.
She's lying. Hey,
No
you can only do that in
ghosting.
a first world
Client,
country.
one candidate.
Oh,
Yeah.
rubbish.
Okay, so nobody believes that. Okay, I
Obviously, even a 5-year-old kid won't believe it.
Well,
Come
I
on.
think we should ask Donna. Donna, why did you write that?
Yeah.
That was
Seriously.
not me. That was not me.
Even if you like you handpicked your clients, that doesn't preclude anyone from getting counter offers. It's just a dumb comment.
That was stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely BS marketing.
Animal, you should check the
no. She meant
background.
that she respects the clients so much.
Oh,
The companies are so great that once she's got someone hooked, the candidate, they're not going to go you can't lure them away. You
That's
know.
bull.
You know that ranks top 10 on the bullshit meter.
Yeah,
Okay.
agreed.
I believe her. Okay.
You believe her?
Yeah,
No,
I
that's
believe
the
her.
problem.
I believe her. She's not here for me to say she's a liar.
Please bring her on
We all
the
did
show.
that for you.
No, Animal, bring her on the show. I'll call her a liar to her face.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't mind.
Oh, look, he's here. I've got
No,
tons of
Ivan.
questions for Ivan. Okay. I'll welcome
The
him
Ivan-
for
the
so
Ivan show.
Clang.so, the
missed up the
IT
time. I missed up the
recruiter,
time.
the IT recruiter who built his own applicant tracking system, Clang, KLANG.SO. Let me just mention something. Michael G. Cox is here. I saw a posting by him. He said he's got 20,000 connections on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn told him that he can't link to anybody, connect with anybody.
Now you got 30,000. I'm at
Yeah, but he
30,000.
said he's only got 20 and they
Yeah,
came
loser.
after him.
Yeah, that's why he's number 2.
Okay, anybody want to say something before I rake Ivan over the
Wait,
course?
I have a question for Ivan though. How
Go
long
ahead.
did it take you to build Clang?
On and off, it has been like, this is hard to say. Like we started actually working on it, I think 1 year ago, and now we are like basically adding features, implementing like improvements and stuff like that. So it was like on and off. Of course, it's like a slow process, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
It's a good program though. You guys should check it out if you haven't checked it.
Hey, everybody,
It is
there
very
you go.
A free
I totally-
unsolicited ad. It is a good
Super
program.
Super
Yeah.
Rich Rosen, cornerstonesearch.com. Okay, I forgot to mention that. He is endorsing Clang.so, and this guy checks every kind of technology. We established that last time he
Yeah.
was on. People, he's so famous, all these vendors come to him and say, please, Rich, try it out for me. Give me some
Yeah,
feedback.
Rich, you should have it endorsed by Rich.
Let me
logo.
ask
I
Rich a
know.
question here. So Rich, do you take Clang over Crelate?
I haven't, but I gotta tell you, I really like Clang. The only reason I didn't is because, Crelate, I've got it all set up. It
Yeah.
integrates with everything I need to integrate with. I don't have the time to switch.
Well, let me put
but-
it to you this, is it a rival to Crelate?
Oh, yeah, totally.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
because
mean, honestly, it's really
Yeah, it's over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
No, actually, Ernie, once he's integrating a couple of things. Once he integrates it, he'll be able to compete with Loxo.
So, but wait, so let's now get to the real point and the importance of all this.
Mm.
How much of a discount do we get being your best? Being
Oh
your good
yeah,
hand?
that's the question.
There you
There
go.
you
Let's
go.
get right down
Hey,
to it.
but to be,
Go ahead,
I
Mario.
will talk.
Mario.
No,
I think
he
you're close on-
actually quotes it very reasonably. To be very frank with you,
Mhm.
for what it does, it's solid. Just that for us, it doesn't fit our workflow at the moment. Down the line,
that's
we will
solid.
be incorporating it. It's very simple. The only minus point for him is he doesn't have the automation that Loxo has, okay, or maybe Crelate has. He's developing that.
I mean, I personally thought I personally thought it was much better than Luxo for workflow and everything else, but different styles. But
Correct.
it was, but honestly, for a young program, I mean, it's right up there. It was really good.
Amazing. I love to hear that. This is so good.
Now, hold on a second. Ivan, now that the day that I want to focus on you to some extent, I'm looking up your nose. What's with this view? Like, I
Yeah,
don't
because
like
I'm
it.
saying
That
I
was-
cu- I
that was
confused the
pride.
times. I confused the I forgot that it's like the time change for you, and then the European is
Oh.
different. So I'm like,
Can't you
it's like-
adjust your camera so you're
yeah,
not
I
looking
can switch.
lying down
can-
or something like that?
Okay, wait. But
Ivan,
I have
how
to,
many
like,
cameras
log
do you
off.
have? Oh shit.
I think the more you praised him, the more his head went up.
You know, Zoom used to have my image in reverse. Okay, so I unreversed it. Now when I want to look at Ernie, I have to look like over there. It's
But you're not-
backward.
you're
It's
constantly
screwing me
moving
up.
around.
But you know what? It comes out different anyway. Sasha, Eddie, you want to say anything? Or you're quiet. Okay, so just
You
give me a
haven't
chance.
complimented-
I'm
you haven't
listening. I'm
complimented-
listening. I did
Taking
have
it
a
all in.
chance to take a look at Ivan's
Yeah.
ATS
Yeah.
system.
Mhm.
However, I haven't watched the whole video.
Oh,
But
the video.
now,
Okay.
yeah, I watched his YouTube and he has some user guide, if I recall correctly. Yeah. Because we are looking into, I mean, the company that I work for is looking into going into changing ATS system that we're using right now, because the one that we use right now is, I mean,
Who do you use?
ridiculous.
Which one?
I
do you use?
hire. I hire.
Okay, don't know.
Yeah.
don't have-
And
Sasha,
I had a
excuse
call
me.
with Greenhouse, so I wanted to ask, what are your thoughts on Greenhouse?
It's great if you're in-house. Yeah, it's not good for agencies.
He's in-house.
Sasha, if
She's
you're,
in-house.
Yeah,
you know-
I'm in-house
Oh, are you?
momentarily.
Oh, we'll get out of in-house.
Right.
Yeah.
Sasha, I would say something. I mean, with regards to Clang.so, even if you don't use the ATS, he has an awesome social media tool. Okay, that is something I am still using, and it's fantastic. Okay, it will help you with your posts on LinkedIn, everything. Okay, it's really cool in how you approach candidates.
And what is the name of that?
It's you remove the A from the, I mean, klng.so. I think, am I correct, Ivan?
It's right there on his face,
Fine, it's on it. Yeah, it's on his it's in the
Just
corner
go
of
on
his.
this address.
Oh,
Yeah.
Go.
Mario,
you-
you
you
are
prepend
referring to
Go.
Clang?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
talking about
exactly.
Clang.
for
Oh,
the
okay.
tool-
Oh, you
for the
mentioned that
tools-
Clang is good for the social media as well.
Yeah, he's got a
Yes.
special
LinkedIn.
tool for it.
Oh.
Yeah.
A
Okay.
specific tool.
Awesome.
You put the go before, so you go to go.clang.so. So it's go
Okay.
period clang period so.
He's got a
Hey,
catchphrase too.
Since we're advertising for our friends, I'll mention that Dualta Doherty from Rec Wired is offering a course on hiring virtual assistants, because I saw him talking to Rich about it this morning, right?
Right.
Rich does all his videos, so he's going to give him a deal. Okay, yeah, because Rich makes him money. Okay, for nothing. Okay, Ivan's philosophy. Here's Ivan's philosophy. He's got it stated in posting after posting. It's not like I'm just making this up. And here I'm going to read it. To survive in business, you have to ask yourself, how can this person inadvertently screw me over? Okay, not because they're evil, but because they're lazy and stupid. He's not finished. He says, because most people are. He says, if you work long enough in recruiting, you know that this is the sad truth. Okay.
Amen.
What an outlook. Does anyone agree with that? Because I can go on.
Absolutely.
You
I
do?
kind of missed that. What was it?
Oh my
Rich,
God.
Rich, can you show us how that's taken into dating?
Yeah. Seriously.
They're
If
gonna
you're
screw
going to
you and
handle
take your
syphilis
money.
issue, it's
Let me go on. I'll read a little more.
Let me.
Let me go a little more. He'll say, my recruiting life, I'll improve his English a bit, improved 10 times after I started to assume that everyone I talk to is, childish and forgetful. He said, now I explain everything to everyone like to a 5-year-old. Half the people in their head go, why is this guy being so explicit? But the other half needs it. Right? So I call it the Beatles approach to business. I want to hold your hand, because that's what he.
I call it the third grader approach. You got to teach it. You got to treat everyone like a third grader is the way to do this job. If they got to think about it, you're lost. You know, you can't make, especially if you're a hiring manager, you make a hiring manager think, you're done. They've already lost the interview.
I don't know what you're saying, Rich. I know what he's saying. He's saying that if you want to send an email to somebody when you're interviewing them, don't get off the phone until they actually receive your email. Am I right about that, Ivan? Come on, defend yourself.
Like,
yeah, okay,
yeah,
just to
absolutely,
say,
absolutely. This is what I do. But like Rich said a very critical point. He said, like the hiring manager, you have to handhold even more because you are thinking, like, because the candidate, we know candidates. I mean, they're sometimes a little bit weird. I mean, it's not professionals very often, especially in tech. I mean, professionals about how to do business. They are very often, they do not know like that, like, you know, you should, yeah, you know, send your CV. If you said you will send your CV. So Rich is making a super important point that hiring managers, you assume they are professionals, but often they're not. So therefore, you have to really handhold them as well.
Yeah, like on a resume. I mean, I tell everyone on a resume for sales guys, you got to have, you know, what you sold, who you sold, and how you did. The rest of it is useless. And for every space you're in, you got to find the 3 bullets that are going to be interesting that makes the conversation easy for a hiring manager. So sitting and waiting for emails to the candidate. Sometimes you do it, sometimes you don't. But the point is the same. You got to treat everyone as if they're children, and make sure they understand it. Are you excited? Why are you excited? What's going on?
And if the client doesn't have any idea what exactly they want, you're not going to make a hire.
Yep.
But Ivan got some pushback on his philosophy. Okay, well, he what happened was, remember, he told us last time, and he posted it in a video this week, that he calls people before the morning before the interview, 15 minutes before. He reminds them like 100 times about, hey, you got an interview today. Okay, I don't know how many times, but a number of times. Okay, and people said, he's wrong. He's got the wrong candidates. If you have to handhold a candidate that much, you are not picking the right people for that job. Anybody? Isn't that what they said to you?
Handholding, I mean, just making sure they show up and not ghost people, which is a different thing.
No, I didn't know that he was dragging them by the neck of the shirt to the interview.
How many times do you remind people before an interview, Ivan?
As I wrote, usually the morning, and maybe shortly before. Like it depends a little. It depends a lot. I mean, on the person. But like, actually,
you give a straight answer. Can't you give a straight answer? Do I have to read them all?
On the morning of the.
Just once? That's not true. Go ahead, Ernie. What did you want to say? Something?
No, I'm just holding to my finger as one.
That's all. It doesn't more than one.
One time.
That's like the minimum. The minimum is in the morning.
Okay, yeah.
The day of the
Everybody,
interview.
trust me, this guy does it more than once.
Unless
you tell from
meeting.
from that introduction that this guy, he doesn't trust people. Okay. Okay.
Why would you ever trust people if you ever worked in recruitment more than 3 months?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no, no. Hey,
Well, in fact,
Animal,
go
whose
ahead.
rule was that? Everyone lies. There was a rule.
Oh, that's Jeff Altman's rule. Everyone
Yeah,
lies.
everyone lies.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I said that you guys are liars. So, and you said you're not. Okay. Well, you didn't say that actually. You said what you do is not lying. Okay.
Stretch the truth.
Okay.
Bend
Here's
it
what.
a
Hey, I gotta
Well,
run, guys. Have a great week.
Thanks,
Yeah, right.
Rich. Nice to see you.
Bye.
Bye.
Here's what Ivan said. Something else. Speaking of what he said, never trust people. He said do your checks before you work with someone. What does that mean? Is he gone? Oh, he's here. Oh, what does that mean, Ivan? Do your checks before you work with someone. Don't trust them. Do your checks. What does that mean?
Yeah, like really look for the red flags, I would say. So with a client, like how do they want to hire? How urgent is it? Like all the checking. Like if somebody, I mean, when I started recruitment, I was like, okay, somebody like some random guy, like, I have a company registered and I need to hire 10 .NET people. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Like there's gonna be like so many deals. And then I worked for this like on contingency for 3 months, no result. And he's like, yeah, sorry, we decided not to hire in Switzerland. So that was it. So basically all these things happen.
Hold on. How could you figure that out beforehand? Do you show what checks are you doing? How?
You because like, okay, since when does your company exist even in Switzerland?
Well, how
Like,
could you
have you
find that
considered-
out? How could you
But
find that
it's
out?
like in
But see,
it's like in the internet.
Ivan, hold on one second. There are options to hire people in Switzerland without having a company in Switzerland. You know that?
Not really.
It's called an
sort of, but-
employer on record
Yeah.
service.
I mean,
Okay,
there's
there are
something like that
ways.
here too. Yeah. There are ways, of course. But like, so this guy, I mean, so how to find out this in advance? Well, just to like actually pick a little bit pick the brain and see if like, there are like the red flags, if this person really has thought this through.
You're
right?
not. You're not doing a good job defending your ideas. Sorry. Anybody else want to do it for him, or move on to another question?
I can give a suggestion. Send
Okay.
them 2 resumes and see what happens.
Yep.
If nothing
Or like-
happens in 24 hours or 1 week, drop them. Like
Oh,
a hot
trial
potato.
balloons. Trial balloons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Steve
not?
Finkel calls those trial balloons. Okay, but that's after the fact. He says before you even take them on, check them out. Anybody want to talk about that? Address that issue?
How can you check them out? That's my question.
That's what I said. No,
I mean,
there's
you
no
can-
answer. He said, "Oh, the internet." Yeah, that's a good answer. Thank
Rubbish.
you. Yeah.
Sorry, Ivan, but that's rubbish. I mean, no, you can know how long the company has been in existence. That is true. Okay, but you can do a credit check. That's the max you can do.
Michael G. Cox gave us a good one. He said, if you go on to LinkedIn and look up the company, it'll tell you how many people were there before and like, how many people.
No,
have
no,
been
no, no,
leaving.
no, 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 no. Animal, there's a flaw in that particular argument because some people don't get on LinkedIn.
Most people.
But you
are
get
on
an
LinkedIn.
estimate. You
No.
get like
Okay,
In
a
okay,
her
okay,
job,
okay.
with those
Simple
maintenance
example.
people might not be on LinkedIn. That's why she's
shop-
not in her
yes,
head.
That's a machine shop guys. Okay, they're
Okay.
not going to be on LinkedIn. All right, but
Okay.
you may have 100 guys in the company.
Okay, well, that's a different, for
I rest my
tradespeople and
case.
manual workers, LinkedIn doesn't count for them. Okay, that's okay. But here's something else, Ivan. I think I misunderstood this because English is your 3rd or 4th language. Somebody sent you an email, I think, and said, you are an extraordinary recruiter. No one pushed me so far in one phone call. Usually it takes hours with recruiters, long emails back and forth with follow-up documents. What did he mean that you pushed him to what, or was that the wrong term?
Well, I just got the most important info out as fast as possible. What the person did in the past, what they want to do in the future, what is this compensation range, and which kind of companies he can see them that they can see themselves work at.
Why would somebody else take a long time to do that? What do you do that's
I don't know,
special?
I don't know. Because like I actually own the agency. That means like I need results, like the good results quick. And people who are employed recruiters, they probably are told, okay, you need to make like 44 calls, or I don't know, like. That's
Yeah,
probably
okay, we got 2 employed recruiters here, and I don't think they'll agree with you. Does anybody
They're
want
not
to
going to be that
criticize
happy
them?
with that.
No. Okay.
I heard this. I mean, obviously, I heard that. I heard that like some agencies were like, okay, hey, I work at this like a very big agency, and they told me I have to do like X calls. I mean, I heard that is true. I mean, I'm sure many agencies do not do this stupid metrics, but some do.
Okay. Anybody else got a topic they want to talk about? Anybody, or do I have to come up with everything?
This is actually quite a good topic. You're just
Doing good.
What
Floating it up,
topic?
you know?
What topic? You take it, take it over. Take the lead.
The drive between an internal recruiter working for an agency and an external recruiter running an agency. The
I can't
difference in
tell the
drive.
difference. I can't. What's the
There's a
difference?
No,
Well,
I
we
think,
got to. Go ahead.
oh,
Hold on.
okay. So I have a drive, right? You know, because I have the things I want to achieve, but there are people who are lazier for sure. And like my niece was working for a big company, a big recruitment agency, and she was just all hustle. Like she was amazing and making placements that no one had ever made, but it was just that hustle, and she had it. I think the thing is that when you have it, eventually you don't stay in that position because you realize, oh, I can make a lot more money if I did this.
Exactly.
You've got a shelf life within the agency, unless you just like the security that someone else is taking all the risks, you know,
True.
which is where I am right now. Like I still like the security that I have, but you know, at
So
some
what you said that Mario is wrong, and I know from knowing you for a year that from day one, you are someone who pounds the phone. You're not someone who takes 10 years to get this basic information out of
Well,
a
some
out of a
people
candidate.
but some are, and some just don't do a good job. Like some people, I don't really know why.
Okay,
I
he
don't
made
know
a general
why.
statement. Sasha, do you want to defend your status, or is Mario right that you're a slacker because you're working for
No.
somebody else?
I didn't say she was a slacker. Wait, hold up. You're
Yeah,
twisting
you
my
did. Yeah, you did.
statement.
Let's go to the
Okay,
replay.
I said she's a slacker. Fine.
Let her
Then
talk. Let her talk.
she's gonna go to external. Okay.
No, yeah. I mean, I don't consider myself a slacker. Thank you for thinking that, recruiting animal. Thank you for rephrasing your thoughts and blaming Mario over here.
That's what he said.
That's
I
not
make
nice, but
I
okay.
spell it out, and people
I
hate me for that.
actually-
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Uh,
They say I'm quoting
I-
them improperly. Go ahead.
Well, I agree with Donna that at this point I do need that security part, but you know, with the things that I've done along the time since I'm in the company, I realized that I went above and beyond for my position, and that I'm more than capable to run this show on my own. However, I still have some
Okay, here's what this tells me now.
small
Okay,
pieces
well,
together.
don't forget, the people here are people who have selected themselves to be on the Recruiting Animal show. And that's not insignificant, okay? These are people who want to come on and talk with other recruiters in public, okay? So it's a different breed, okay? Ernie, am I right?
Different breed of beasts.
Yeah, I think you're right. You know, but I would say, you know, working for an internal, I did that on the side. I did it for 6 months, and I absolutely hated it. And I got paid.
Why?
Why? Because you have to report to somebody. You have to talk to somebody. You have to tell them what you're doing, how you're doing it, and making them feel like happy. And I didn't like that. I like to do my own thing. I'll talk to you when I want to talk to you. I'll let you know if I got a candidate, I'll send it to you. But don't tell me what to do.
Hey, well, that's what I don't know. I'm
My point,
surprised.
my point,
Let me
my
just
point,
finish. Ivan said that these hiring managers are bozos, right? He agreed with Rich. He made a whole point. And now when Ernie says, I don't want to report to somebody, he says, well, why not? Well, we already heard why not. They're idiots,
Ernie,
okay?
Ernie,
Go
you
ahead,
need to
Mario.
get one thing. Ernie, one thing. The statistics. Okay. Only 20% of the population doesn't want to report to somebody else. Okay. The rest, they want to report to somebody. They need that direction in life.
The security is important. The structure is important.
Yeah.
For people.
But exactly.
And for the most part, you got to think of it's like there are recruiters, and then there are recruiter entrepreneurs.
Or business owners. I
Well,
classify myself as a
business owners,
business
but
owner.
even if you're within an organization, if they allow you to be that entrepreneur, where they allow you to make your own decisions. But if you got somebody on you all the time and saying how many calls you make, what are you doing here, what are you doing there, that's a different thing. But if you have different jobs, like an assortment of jobs, pick the one you want, work the hours you want, then I'm happy with that. But don't tell me like you have to report to me and tell me how many calls you made. And I'm like, you know what? No.
Ernie, I have a question. One question. Weren't you internal head of recruitment for a firm? Correct? For a manufacturing company?
I did that on the side.
On the side. Okay, cool.
I was paid for 6 months, $100,000.
That's quite a good amount of money.
And
No, but the reason,
I did not like it.
yeah, true. But you know one thing, a lot of recruiters are moving from agency into internal because they can't take the pressure and they want it easy. And that's a fact. That doesn't
But you see,
change.
but the point of it is, it's they want security.
Yeah.
They want security, and they
And
want.
sometimes you need security.
No,
You've got
but-
kids and all that stuff. That's not a taboo. It's not a dirty word that you need security.
But I mean,
okay?
it's one of the factors that you do. You want security.
Yeah.
And let me interrupt. Just watching Facebook, there's been a surprising number of postings by recruiters saying internal recruiters saying they're burnt out, and agency recruiters. Has anyone seen those? Ernie, have you seen them? He said, I'm burnt out.
I've seen where internal recruiters have been burned out. But then if you're an agency recruiter and
They're not on their own. They're working for some bozos.
No,
Okay.
but I mean, if you have control over your time, how in the hell do you get burned out?
Hey, animal, I'm one of those bozos. Okay, come on, hold
When
off.
you become a recruiter, what you got to do is set up freedom and time. That's what you want. You want to be able to control your time, control your freedom. If you're allowed to do that, you'll never get burned out, because if you are, you're messed up in life anyway.
Okay.
Yoda has spoken. Hail Yoda.
My rule is no drama. I don't want drama.
Yeah.
I don't want stress. I'm not going to give myself that. So if you bring me stress, you bring me drama, I'm out of here. I don't need that. And you put that to your friends, to anyone around you. That's what they always tell you, the positive people thinking, get rid of your negative friends.
Ernie, how long have you been married?
40, I got married in 1977.
Oh, wow.
Whoa,
Okay.
congrats.
Wow.
Congrats.
1977.
Awesome. Congratulations.
You know, and I would tell you, it's just, you try to create that, no drama,
Yeah.
no nothing. And it's important to do that, because if not, you're going to have gray hair. You're going to be crying. You're going to be dying. You're going to, I heard a saying that said, don't chase after money because money runs too fast. And I said, yeah, that's right.
I don't know what that means, Ernie. It's a little
That
too
means
wise.
That means
wise
if
for me.
all you're concerned about is money,
Yeah.
your life's going to go to shit.
Okay, money runs too fast. It
You'll
can't
never
give
get
you
all
what
the
you
money
want.
you want. You'll
So
never-
Ernie, what if you're too concerned about the ROI on the money?
No, but you see, I mean, if you're talking about,
True.
over the last couple of months, I've built 90,000 over the last couple of months. The money's there, but you just have to set your attitude towards that it'll come to you, not that you're going to go after it.
Okay. Yeah, I hope those two girls, I say it affectionately, are listening to him, because they eventually will be on their own. Ivan, do you have something to say? You're sitting there looking kind of smug.
I was gonna,
That's like impossible to add something to that. Ernie's amazing. I mean,
Yeah, I told you he's
I would say-
Yoda.
and I'm saying this because I see Sasha and I see Donna, and they're going to go on their own one day.
Yep.
You see it written all over it. Sasha, she's ready to go.
Yeah.
The only
Yeah.
thing that happens is you just got to take that step, and you got to believe in yourself and have confidence in yourself, and you got to do what the Romans did, which was you burn the boats.
I don't believe that. I heard you say that before. No, I don't believe
Hey.
in burning the boats. Okay.
Adam and I
Well,
burned my boat. I literally set fire to the sea.
Well,
Okay.
what happens is you gotta just make sure you don't run back whenever it gets rough, because it is going to
yeah.
get rough.
Oh, we're almost done. I got a question. Geez, it's already 12:57. But
It's a
Ivan,
good show.
Ivan wants to send a survey out to his clients. Maybe he's done it already, and he wants to ask these questions. Ivan, please feel free to interrupt me. Okay. Okay. You look very different today, like angry. Okay, but so I'm inviting you. Okay. He said, you ask them the questions. What do you think about our candidate quality, the fit to the jobs? Rate that on a scale of 1 to 5. What about candidate quantity? Do you have enough choice? Again, 1 to 5. The level of knowledge about the candidate that we're supplying to you, my ability to answer questions about them. That's question number 3. Again, 1 to 5. Then there's a question 4 is open. Is there anything else you want to tell us? 4 questions. What does anybody comment? Is that a good idea to send them that survey?
What's the idea behind that question, the survey?
that you get like to people to maybe tell you if they do not like something, right? I mean, I had something like I had always this candidate notes that I attached to the resume with this tool clang.so, and I had, for example, a very simple feedback thing, and they said, "Oh, I look at it and I don't know when you actually wrote this notes, because if it's like an older candidate, it could be a longer time ago, right?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, this is like," then I'll just make a timestamp. It's like 2 seconds, implementation in the app, and it solves it, right? I mean, people then are looking at it and it's like, okay, this candidate notes, they're like from 3 days ago, and the CV is fresh. I mean, stuff like that you'll get then as feedback. This is super actionable.
That's it.
But
You're
don't you
asking
think
much broader questions. I
I
mean,
mean,
Yeah, exactly. They're very broad. So I don't know. I didn't ask them yet. I will do
Okay.
that.
I mean, can I ask you a question, Ivan? Have you ever answered a survey on a software that you've used before?
I mean, I have certainly answered surveys. I
this
don't know if
wasn't
it's
on
on
the software. This was on his service as a
No,
recruiter.
I'm giving an example. I mean, personally, from my perspective, I don't think many clients will bother to respond to it. I could be wrong, but
But wait. So did you get a response to your
He
survey?
hasn't sent it out yet.
Oh, you haven't sent it out.
I will.
I like it.
But I
like
think
it.
it's a good idea. Yeah, it's a way of gathering rapport with his clients. So,
They're already
if-
working with him, so he doesn't have to worry that he's going to,
one question. What if
well, yes, but still, he that shows that he.
No, he can improve his service or explain
Yes,
something to them. No,
exactly.
I agree. I
What if
like it.
I have a question, Ivan? What if you put, do you think our fees are too high?
Yeah.
I mean, I try to always, actually talking about fees, I try always to avoid it. I try always to tell, okay, the value I bring is this and all that, and then either the fees are fine or either like it's a red flag, the client is no good.
Tasha, do you want to say something? You raising your hand,
Yes.
Wonder Woman?
Yes, I actually wanted to.
You're 5'10". Now I know you're 5'10". Okay, you look like her exactly.
Okay. I wanted to see if I have time to make questions, to make actually question about contract. How do you make sure when you provide your client, and I refer to company, the resume with candidates' phone and email, that they're not going to skip you in the process, or you don't provide phone and an email?
Okay, you mean if you're an agency, you
Okay.
want to prevent a backdoor hire, so you have a fee agreement
Exactly.
beforehand. Yeah, and
Oh.
it says if I we can talk about it at length next time. Then, if you or anytime you say if I supply you with a candidate, it doesn't matter if you know that person before or they're in your applicant tracking system. If they're not in process before I introduce that person, that candidate belongs to me. That candidate
Okay.
belongs to me for the next 6 months or something. I don't know the exact wording, but it belongs to me if you hire this person during the next 6 months in your company for any position, because remember, we talked about that one where they hired the person for a different job and they didn't want to pay, right? If you hire this, so you put that in your fee agreement as well, and then you put your guarantee period. So either you'll refund part of the fee or you'll do a replacement. That all goes into the. We can discuss it at length. Anybody else want to add that before we wrap up?
So we should start out with that question in our next session.
week.
Next
Yeah.
Wednesday.
that's
Okay,
a
well,
good
actually, 5 minutes after because lots of people aren't here yet in the first 5. Okay, everybody, thanks a lot. Take care.